Hi, it's me again with Corel Roll Tips and Tricks, and this is part 2 of making a finger joint box a little thicker. And I was going to have all this ready, and then I thought this would be a good little tip for like this one, this one, this. Really, you'd only have to do 4 of these because, well, you're going to have to do them all. But after you get this one ready, let's zoom in. I don't even know if I got that one perfectly square, which I don't. And see, you could see that. So just a minute little bit of movement, get it pretty square. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. The wood's going to give that much. But here's a little trick you can do is grab that outer one, hit the plus key on your keyboard, and mirror it. You can actually hold down your control button and hold it right over. And there you go. The second one's done. So I could have done that with all of them. You know, just done these 4, grouped them together and moved them over there if the person drew it symmetrically. So now what we're going to do, we're going to transfer it. I'm going to group it together. I'm going to transfer it to the top. Before I do that, I want to make all my cut lines red. One, just so I'll know that they are, and I'll be able to see them against the other one. Control G to group them together. Now this one, I'm going to leave them all black. But if we hit P and put it in the center of the page, you can see we've got the exact same fit. So what we can do, this thing is 250 millimeters. We're going to set our nudge factor on 260. We're going to nudge. I really want to nudge the other one out of the way. So I'm going to nudge this one back and then this one back. I'm going to get the lid out of the way for a second. So what you could do, this makes it pretty easy. First of all, we need to turn all this into a hairline, but we're going to leave them black. So I'm going to hit F12 and turn these into a hairline. The color, I don't think with any laser matters. But then we're going to break it apart. And then I'm going to grab all these lines or boxes or tabs or joints out of the way. I don't quite understand this box because there's 2 cut lines, but I'm not going to go there. Now, we've got our nudge factor still set on the same. I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool and I'm going to fill that in. I'm going to nudge it over. Fill that in and nudge it over. What I'm doing, I'm nudging them exactly the amount that they need to be with the nudge tool. And then all you have to do is change to your pick tool and left click, no fill. Right click, outline. So now you have the exact same thing, and I'll kind of prove it here. Control G to group that together. I'm going to hit P. Those 2 files are on top of each other, and you can't see them, so they're perfect. So we'll nudge that one back out of the way. Now, that's done. For the one I'm doing it for, I'm really curious on this second cut. I don't know what that is, unless that's going to fit in the bottom for strength. But here's what we need to do now. Remember when we turned them into, and we're going to take the parallel dimension tool. Remember we changed them to 4 millimeters. So that's our female tags. Our male tags need to be 4 millimeters. So I'm going to get these out of the way for a second. One thing good about this, well, they are. There's two different ones. Sometimes they're identical and you could do them all at the same time. Matter of fact, if we mirror that, it's the same thing except with that bottom tab. So we're going to have to do them all, but that's really no problem. I'm going to select it. I'm going to hit F12 and turn them into a hairline. I don't understand why somebody would have a file that's not. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to object, and break it apart because I want to be able to see nodes. Okay. Now, remember we need to set this thickness because this is the thickness of the wood protruding into that male hole. So we're going to take our smart or parallel dimension tool. See, we're at 3 millimeters. We need it to be 4. So what the key here, we just need 1 millimeter. So we're going to change our nudge distance to 1 millimeter. We're going to grab our shape tool. We're going to select everything, and we're going to go all the way. You could do this individually. Nudge them up. And it might be easier than trying to go all that way without getting another, another node. Now this one, we'd have to measure. The end one definitely needs to be the same thing. So I'm going to nudge it left, nudge it down. I'm just making the whole thing. And you could, if your hand's good, whoop, evidently mine's not. But if we grab those 3 and get a little view and swipe through here and get all those, we've selected those 6 nodes, we move them down. There's a little bit of offset kind of stuff I don't understand, but I'm not going to, that may be a locking mechanism. And then just do the same thing for the bottom. And see, whenever you can't grab it, I don't know if I turn this into a hairline or not. Nope. Hit F12. Hairline. And I would make once you get them all done, I would make your hairlines black or red. So go up, and that's really all it takes. So this is really kind of easy. Now I'm going to go right. I'm going to grab these 2, and I'm going to go right again. I think I did not do, well, it doesn't matter. Just make sure you get them all. Then go down. See, there's a couple of nodes floating pretty close to those other things. Now, I meant to say this before I started the second video. Please test your cuts. This is so easy to test cuts. Because instead of cutting out this whole thing, I just figured out what that lip is to hold the lid inside, probably drop down. What I would do, once I get them done, I'm going to make everything a red hairline. So I know it's a cut line. Not worried about that. That's your lid, and that's going to be cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it over, I'm going to grab everything. Well, you might want to group this together. And then move this out of the way. I want everything off the board. We'll go ahead and do that. So test your cuts. I've got several videos on this, but it's so easy to save wood and space. Just take your Smart Fill tool, take a rectangle, take your Smart Fill tool and fill that in. Move that over here. Take a rectangle, grab the rectangle tool, use the Smart Fill tool, fill that in and nudge it over. Now, what's going to happen, you don't have to do that much. But I'm going to left click, right click. I'm going to cut out those 2 pieces of wood because we've changed our wood thickness. We've changed all our joints. And if you don't do this and it doesn't fit, you're going to be mad. So then once you get it cut out, if this slot fits that hole, you're good to go on all of them. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.